Okay, so before I do this first song, I have to ask everybody a question. Is there anybody here who would be put off or offended by a very liberal song? I want to make sure.
Very
Hope not.
Very liberal. I sang this at the rally after the Women's March yesterday, and I was requested to do it again, so. All right, it's called okay, the background of this song, Phil Oakes was a protest song singer, songwriter back in the 60s and 70s. And he, in 1965, he wrote a song called Here's to the State of Mississippi. And it was his rebuke on Mississippi for the way they handled civil rights. He made a few changes to it in 1974 and released it as Here's to the State of Richard Nixon. Well, I heard that song and I'm going, nothing has changed. So I made a few rewrites to it. I call it Here's to the State of Trump's America. And just so that you're aware, except for the specific references to Trump and 3 lines, this song was written over 50 years ago. Excuse me. Here's to the state of Trump's America. For underneath his borders, the devil draws no lines. If you drag his muddy rivers, nameless bodies you will find. Colluding with the Russians, every word he says a lie. The KKK endorsed this hero of the alt-right. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Donald Trump, find yourself another country to be part of. And here's to the schools in Trump's America, where they're teaching all the children that they don't have to care. All the rudiments of hatred are present everywhere, and every single classroom is a factory of despair. And children are being shot, and all they get are thoughts and prayers. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Donald Trump, find yourself another country to be part of. And here's to the laws of Trump's America. Congressmen will gather in a circus of delay, while the Constitution's drowning in an ocean of decay. And he's tapping his own brother just to hear what he would say. Yes, corruption can be classic in the Donald Trump way. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Donald Trump, find yourself another country to be part of. And here's to the churches of Trump's America, where the cross once made of silver now is caked with rust, and the Sunday morning sermons pander to their lust, and the fallen face of Jesus is choking in the dust, and heaven only knows in which God they can trust. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Donald Trump, find yourself another country to be part of. And here's to the government of Trump's America. In the swamp of their bureaucracy, they're always bogging down, and criminals are posing as advisors to the crown. And they hope that no one sees the sights and no one hears the sounds, and the speeches of the president are the ravings of a clown. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Donald Trump, find yourself another country to be part of. I only wrote 3 lines of that. The rest of it was over 50 years ago, which is pretty incredible. So the next song I was planning on doing today is a song that I think we could probably all relate to in one way or another, being in the age, the digital age that we are. We all have more and more passwords that gets harder and harder to remember. So there's a folk singer back on the, she's mainly around the East Coast. Her name is Christine Lavin. And she wrote a song a few years ago called Remembering My Password. So I think we can all relate to that in one way or another. Way back last century, I joined America Online. Had to come up with a password, something uniquely mine. I picked the word lightning, I have no idea why. Lightning's gonna be my password, till the day I die. Then I opened an account with Amazon, they wanted a password too. So again I picked the word lightning, it was a logical thing to do. Then I joined Facebook, it said a single word was not sufficient. They want both the letters and numbers to be safe and efficient. So I added the number 52 to my word lightning. Lightning 52 is my Facebook password, my online skills are heightening. Then I read it's dangerous to use the same password everywhere. So I thought, okay, what's easy to remember that accompanies lightning in the air? Thunder. That'll be my new password as I download iTunes. But they also want a number, so Thunder 1 is what I picked that afternoon. I joined satellite radio, another password to create. What goes with lightning and thunder? Hail. That'll work just great. They said, no, hail is too short a word, but hailstones will work just fine. I've already come a long way from lightning and obsolete America Online. Then I joined Gmail, lightning, thunder, hailstones, twister. But they tell me that's a weak password, so I consult my little sister. Now, when you have computer troubles, you can't go to somebody older and wiser, because there is nobody older and wiser. But my sister said, how about the word hurricane? But add a number to make it secure. So Hurricane 53 kept the bad guys from my digital door. So far so good, till the day that Facebook let me know somebody hacked into my account. My old password has gotta go. Oh no! Lightning 52 became Lightning 53, but only for a couple of weeks. Cause then my account got hacked again, and my password needed tweaks. But Lightning 54 was rejected. They said it was too close to Lightning 53. So I made a bold choice, Humidity 9. That's a new password for me. Everything was A-okay till the day I let a friend use my laptop. She did something to my AOL account that brought it to a screeching stop. They said she emailed way too many people. So my account got junked. I could reopen it in 24 hours, but my password was now defunct. So AOL gave me a new password, my zip code and my initials, CL10025. They said if I didn't like it, I could change it to something more creative and less official. So I tried changing it back to lightning. They said, nope, gotta pick another word. So for whatever reason, at that particular moment, Typhoon 56 was what I preferred. Lightning 52, Thunder 1, okay. Hailstones, Hurricane 53 kept me safe and secure today. Lightning 53, Lightning 54, I'm starting to get confused. What is that the password for? Humidity 9, CL10025. I think I'm starting to overload my brain's external drive. Typhoon 56, I don't remember what that does. If only I could go back to the time when lightning was the only password I had to remember, the only password to memorize, the only password to open sesame, everything under digital skies. Well, the days of a simple password are ancient history. I'm gonna change my password to I'm an old idiot 1, 2, 3.
I don't think we have have that many more acts. So.
All right. All right. So the next song I'm going to do, I think you all know this, so I'd love it if you could sing along. And it's Puff the Magic Dragon. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perch on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff that mighty dragon, he slipped into his cave. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. And I'll let somebody else go, but if we run out of people and you want more later, I can do more later.
Oh, okay.